I'm back, baby! Back and acting better than ever after a hiatus at the What's Good Old Fast Granny Factory. Dude, I've been falling asleep every single night at like fucking 6. Well, that's actually late for me. I've been falling asleep every single day at like 2 p.m. And then I sleep during the best hours of the day, and then wake up in the middle of the night with absolutely nothing in my life. But I just woke up at 7, but if I wake up at 7, then I still get tired at like 2. No, I have nothing in my life. But my life's been treachery beyond belief lately. And I've made TikTok videos on workout videos, and I've been trying to make like longer videos so that on YouTube I can make money off that. But I can't figure out like what long videos of workout videos I can do. Like I could. So if anybody has like any ideas, let Maestro know. But today I'm going to be doing a 9.1.5 melee DPS tier list. We're going to be watching Bald Fat Tease, Oogly Eyes Gremlin, see what he thinks the DPS tier lists are, and then the Maestro's going to, of course, tell you the real DPS tier list and which are the best melee DPS classes. So keep watching, like, and subscribe against all odds, and send the Maestro a Mice Mask gift from Santa. Let's see what he has to say.
Bring those to you in real time as they're happening, so you won't miss a beat. But with that news in mind, it does mean that possibly this PvP season will be coming to a close soon. So if you're looking to push towards some of these high-end rewards, mounts, and limited edition transmogs, and all around just limited edition stuff, then you may want to be going.
Buddy, I think we're high-rated PvPers. We know that the season you can't get anything in the next season. Holy fuck, man.
The best odds of achieving that, or what is looking like is
shit. I haven't got to play 3s in so long, man. The best Paladin game
at the moment, which is why I have constructed this tier list. This will be a competitive 3v3 melee DPS tier list, ranking all of the melee DPS on how competitive they are, how likely they are to kind of reach their potential and push to the top of the ladder. So this type of tier list is going to be a little bit more brutal.
No, what would be like if you made a 3s tier list of each comp? That could be cool. Oh, I should do that. I wonder if I'm sure there's a thing out there for that.
I think that all these specializations are capable of achieving Gladiator within the game. This is
Gladiator! Holy fuck, Gladiator is not a real thing, okay? Gladiator used to be Gladiator when you actually had to get in the top 0.5%. That was Gladiator. The Gladiator is now not even a thing. Gladiator is fucking Challenger.
And try and ascend, where they start to lose out on things that other specs have that make them special and unique. And
Fury Warrior Trash D, Feral S, Enhancement A, Assassin A, probably Warrior A, DK S or A, DH A. The fuck is this? Outlaw Rogue? Like that can be broken, but like B, Red Pally S, Sub Rogue S, Survival Hunter B, Unholy DK B, Windwalker S. Oh, that was easy.
Is one of the main reasons why some of these specs are held back, but let's just get started. We've got the
He's missing out specs, isn't he? He forgot they had in Guardian Druid. That's the best class in game. Fat bitch, fat tease.
Warrior. This is a really easy one. This one has just been at the top for a while, and it does not seem like it's going.
He put Warrior as S.
Soon. It has synergy.
What did I say? A or S? Yeah.
Game melee cleave.
I guess I forgot about Intervene. Yeah, it's best class in game. Yeah.
Caster melee healer. It's just a really good spec all around. It has
broken beyond life.
Great utility for its team.
Yeah.
With the
Intervene, Spell Reflect, Can't Die, D-Stance, 20% damage reduction all the time, Sharpen Blade, 6 second, 50% healing reduction, literally the most unkillable, broken, disgusting class ever to exist. Yep.
Pruning of Shadowlands, it was one of the
S-Priest Warrior.
best received specs.
S-Priest Warrior.
Pruning, it's an amazing spec, super fun to play and performs phenomenally. You will be highly desirable on this spec and increase your likelihood of pushing very high rating if you choose to play it, which is why it's on the S tier.
And that's why the most trash players play Warrior, because they're Down syndrome, dung beetle, clueless, pebble brain morons who can backpedal and sit there in D-stance and do absolutely nothing, and not even be in D-stance and just do unhealable damage while everyone's trying to kill them and literally can't take any damage.
Rogue, as Assassination Rogue, you have options like Rogue Mage Priest, and you also have some options that are starting to pop up like Rogue
He's probably
Warlock.
going to give it S.
I'm a little bit
Rogue
still
Warlock's...
questioning whether or not Rogue Warlock will be able to go the distance all the way up the ladder, but Rogue Mage most certainly. I think
Want to join the six?
Oh my God, she's so hot.
Other tech companies are hiring hundreds of thousands of workers in non-coding positions. Over 400 of the hottest technology companies.
Oh my God, I want to eat her dainty ass.
Customer success role.
That you actually do fall a bit behind subtlety in terms of your overall competitive edge. Subtlety just always has the chance.
Sub is broken beyond life.
Whereas
I don't know. I like no. Sub's definitely better than assassin. I've always been saying that. Even rogue mage Pally. Sub might actually be just as close or better than Assass because you just need setups to win. Consistent pressure, every other class is going to do more consistent pressure. Like if you're fighting a Ret Warrior, they're going to do more consistent pressure than your Assass Rogue. So you need just setups, and the best thing about Sub Rogue, it's the most disgusting class in game because all you can do the entire game is just run away and get a reset and come back and do another setup and force all the other players' cooldowns. And since Mage is so tanky and can just sheep stuff the entire time, your Mage can just tank all the damage while you're healing them and putting on some 15% damage redox and spamming on some good old-fashioned heals. And then your Sub Rogue can come back in and get a setup and just decimate them.
Assassination is pretty restricted.
Of course, the rogues on my team are clueless beyond belief and just get killed by behind a pillar, but...
Vendetta, and if you don't have it, your likelihood of winning is going to be in dampening, which, as the game continues to go...
No, it is not. Super fat. You have no clue what you're talking about. When I'm playing with an Assass Rogue, we win in 2 minutes.
Healer running out of mana, go higher and higher.
There's barely any Assass Rogues who play the game, though.
I would put it at...
I give it an A, too.
At the moment, just because I think it's easier to counter. It's a little bit...
Enhance is A or S. I don't know.
Than the subtlety version
Enhance?
of the Rogue. Now, Enhancement Shaman. Pretty much you're only seeing one composition played with
Turbo.
Enhancement Shaman. And it's pretty much one composition the entire expansion, which is Arms Warrior,
that's why,
Shaman,
Turbo.
and Healer.
But that's why I give it an A. It doesn't really have any comps, but it is insanely... Like, the healing surges... The reason why it could be S tier is the healing surges. Holy fucking shit. But at the same time, Turbo really isn't that... I don't know. Turbo's pretty good. I don't know.
There are a lot of cleaves that can kind of out-cleave you, and there are a lot of double casters now with Frost Mage that can really just...
It's probably going to give it an A or B then.
Character around. I think that it's a solid spec at the moment. It fits into the meta well because you have insane burst damage, one-shot pressure, amazing off-healing...
Chain Harvest.
Utility.
Disgusting.
You're receiving some pretty big buffs for 9.2. That might actually be the time to switch back to it, but this is a 9.1.5 list. And for me, I think it falls about middle
give it a B.
where it's a solid spec, has a good comp, but with the way that the meta is evolving,
I think it's an A.
The limited mobility nature of the spec, its weaknesses to things
it's
like
too broken.
Rogue Mage being so prevalent, and it's kind of getting
it doesn't have that much weakness to Rogue Mage. When you're playing with a Warrior and a Resto Druid, it doesn't have that much weakness. Rogue Mage Priest, maybe. Rogue Mage Pally, it's great into.
By the other melee cleaves, holds it back. Now, this isn't to say that you couldn't go all the way with any of these specs if you really wanted to. I'm just trying to assess the odds, right? The odds of potential success.
Yeah, the odds of you being trash, he's saying.
Years. And you're running that turbo, then you're probably going to do fine on it. But if you're coming into the game picking these specs up and you want to know what's...
Well, if you're coming to play the game right now and picking these specs up, you won't even be able to get a single win. You'll be 1300 CR. You'll be literally negative 400 CR. You'll have 97 losses and 0 wins. You won't have any condies. You won't have any gear. You won't be able to find a single person to play with you because people don't exist in WoW. Thank you, Blizzard!
And like short-term payoff investment.
And I know he's going to say Feral is less than it actually is. Feral is so fucking unbelievably good. Feral has the best company. Did he even put BM Hunter on here? Is he retarded? He didn't even put BM Hunter on here. He's delusional. Hello? BM Hunter is the best class in the entire game. He didn't even put BM Hunter on here. Yeah, I guess he's going to just put... That's just for Hunter, I guess. I don't know. He did sub and then he did Assass, but there's no BM on here. And there's the Outlaw, but there's no fucking... There's no BM Hunter. The fuck? Feral is the best class in the game. It's unkillable. Does the most off heals in the entire game. Can get away whenever it wants to. Can fucking never die no matter what. Skins on a fucking 20-second cooldown. Has double frenzied regen. Actually, and then it has the most broken comp in game jungle.
Then I think Enhancement Shaman will be about middle of the pack. Now for Feral Druid, we have the Jungle Cleave is the kind of the main forefront composition at the moment.
They don't really have that many other comps. Well, yes, they do, actually. Feral is so broken you can play Feral Warrior. Feral Warrior is so good with a Mistweaver, you literally can't die.
Flexibility to play with other specializations, with casters particularly like Warlocks. But I think that this
Doesn't
is
really matter.
actually an S tier specialization because it doesn't have the mobility limitations of
unkillable.
Enhancement Shaman, has the same off healing capability without the drawback of running out of mana, and has spammable CC through Cyclone.
Can run out of mana,
amazing damage, amazing survivability,
Yep.
amazing team utility. Like it completely slots right into.
And of course, your class is the most broken class in the game, but you still choose to play Guardian Druid because you're a fat piglet.
In Feral Druid, that it would be a wise investment to try and climb the ladder competitively. Now, Frost Death Knight.
So easy.
This specialization,
I would give it a. I would give Frost probably A or S. I don't know. Windwalker DK is so broken. AMZ is so fucking disgusting. But then it doesn't have that many comps. Well, you can play TSG. I don't know. Frost DK is probably. It's so good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I would give it probably. It's probably S. And it's either like A moving into S, because it's so good. It just does unhealable damn. They've killed me through bot from 100% health before.
More, particularly with Warrior Frost Death Knight, with the Kyrian Spear Bastion Warrior, pinning targets down. It's a very hard.
He's gonna give it an A though, probably.
Druid. It's durable, can drag fights out, and has possibility to win. But I think at the top end of the ladder, you're going to start to have some problems. Again, with this double caster meta starting to become solidified.
Double caster meta? Oh, Frost Mage is broken as
Warlocks.
Fuck. Wait, Mage is literally not even on here. Oh, it's a melee DPS. What the fuck? Why would you only make a melee DPS? Holy fuck, Fat Tees. Get some smarts in your piglet brain.
Of the like, I think you're going to start to notice a problem. Also, your survivability through kind of this amazing Ret Paladin burst one-shot damage might hold you back a bit. I don't know if I want to be too cruel to this spec, because I think much like Enhancement Shaman, it has one comp that actually is doing really well.
It got two comps, Windwalker DK
kind of
and TSG.
Limited mobility.
And Warrior DK.
Give you a bit better self-sustain, but you can't help your...
You don't need mobility when you're fucking one-shotting something the entire game and they can't get away from you because it changes ice on every target.
Allies nearly as much. It's probably about a mid-tier.
Nah, it's definitely not
at
B.
the moment for me.
At the very least, it's like a high A. It's better than a SAS Rogue.
People are making it work, I see it. But it's not kind of like the cutting edge.
Fury Warrior is trash.
In terms of performance compared to the other specs. Now, Fury Warrior, this is one where I was drawing a lot of questions. Is it going to be able to work? Is it going to become a meta spec?
No, it never is.
For me, there's just no reason to bring a Fury Warrior if you can be arms, or if you can literally be any melee DPS in the game. There's just nothing unique or special about it that's like...
It's bad. Yeah.
Fury Warrior for this reason at the moment in 9.1.5. They have one honor talent, which the name is escaping me at the moment, where your Rampage stacks up a very strong Mortal Strike effect. But outside
I don't even know what Fury Warriors do, but all I know is they're trash and I beat them at 1800 CR.
You're going to get kited a lot. There are a couple cheesy, memey stuff that I've seen coming through with Fury Warrior. I've yet to see anyone like really hard dedicate to it.
There's not a single Fury Warrior above 1300 CR super fat.
I think that's for a reason. So for me, I think it's coming in at the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah.
At the moment.
I don't know why there's not like F or like Z tier.
Need improvements. It's a really good, feels good spec. Competitively,
it's not a feels good spec.
0.1%.
Oh, is he talking about DH?
I think there's a reason why we don't see it.
Oh.
Havoc Demon Hunter. This is
I would give a Demon Hunter. It's so broken. I would give Demon Hunter S. Dude, being able to hunt someone for your entire health bar at any moment and on any target, you can fly to the target and one-shot them. And then they're playing this other Covenant where it just does the most unhealable AoE damage to your entire team. I was dying to a trash DHS priest who can never get above 2k CR by themselves, and they were one-shotting my entire team doing 8k DPS the entire time. So, and it has reverse. You can play a bunch of comps. You can play DH Warrior. You can play DHDK. You can play DHS priest. You can play DH Rogue. You can play DH like so much stuff. So you can do like DH Mage.
In fact, it's on the rise at the moment, on the tear.
He's gonna give it an A though. I think.
Are now going Necro Lord. It's providing them a tremendous amount of durability, a tremendous amount of sustain damage, and they're running things like Warrior Demon Hunter, Boomkin Demon Hunter.
Yeah, Boomy Demon Hunter.
I actually think that it's jumped up the ranks a lot if you switch over to the Necrolord Covenant. I'm a little saddened to say that because I really love pressing the hunt. But the main problem with Demon Hunter was survivability, and now you really don't have that problem.
Yeah, give it
for me, I actually think that Demon Hunter is A tier, maybe potentially pushing higher. At this point, I feel pretty solid putting it into A tier. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but coming to 9.2, it could even be better. as the Necrolord's Covenants, but one to keep an eye on. You may have been surprised by that one's ranking. Outlaw Rogue.
Outlaw Rogue, I fought an Outlaw Rogue, and like, you just don't really know how it works. So it's like kind of like a surprise, but Maestro sees through all Deception, but Outlaw Rogue I think is actually like a B tier at the very, or could even be, yeah, probably like B. It does like unhealable damage. When they ramp up their dam, they were killing me. They were doing like 8-second kidneys, or I don't even know, it was the longest kidney shot of my life. And I was just getting one shot the entire time. I couldn't live through it, so I don't know. And that also might be why I only have item level 2 hundo, but...
And much like Fury Warrior, not really...
It's not a D tier. I think it's B.
Other than the reduced cooldown blind, but even that doesn't seem like it's...
No, he just never fought an Outlaw Rogue before.
Right?
They're actually good. I was fighting this one Outlaw Rogue, and they were doing unhealable damage.
30 seconds early, it just lets you win the game. But I guess it really doesn't. In 2v2, we see a lot more Outlaw Rogue, but in 3v3 competitive... I think much like...
It's definitely
Fury,
not a D.
You probably put it ahead of Fury. Fury's probably the last one.
Yeah, Fury's way worse.
Mage if you really wanted to.
He's delusional.
Try and succeed with this spec, but I would say it's an underdog. D tier is underdog. Not really anything special about them that's giving them sort of any edge over any other specialization at the moment.
I mean, as Fury Warrior, you literally can't get rank 1.
It's kind of...
yeah. No, you can't. Maybe on Horde?
Kind of predictable, like Vendetta.
Outlaw Rogue, you can definitely get rank 1 on. It's definitely a B tier. It's B tier. It's at least C tier. It's definitely not D tier. He's an idiot.
During its cooldowns and not like anything outside of that. It's
Ret Pally, S tier, instantly.
To have a competitive edge. Now, Ret Paladin, this one is very easy.
No.
It has a tremendous amount of sustained damage, a tremendous amount of support for its team and itself. You're going to compete with healing against healers. You're going to absolutely erase people. It fits and slots perfectly into the meta, and it has for some time
broken.
now. You have a little bit of Covenant flexibility. This spec is good at all brackets, low, mid, high. This is a really good spec to invest in my mind, especially if you want to be a carry where you're kind of paying attention to your team and trying to end the game. This
so broke,
is just absolutely smashing at the moment.
Yeah.
Subtlety Rogue, now you...
S tier instantly. The best out of these, I would say, Ret Pally is way better than Warrior, and then Feral, then Warrior. Ret Pally and BM Hunter are the best classes in game. Sub Rogue, Def S tier.
May be restricted to only one composition that is going to be phenomenal, which in my mind is the Holy Priest, Fire Mage, Subtlety Rogue.
Yeah.
This composition will allow you access to instant
or Resto Druid. Resto Druid is good too.
On 3 targets, with each person having personal responsibility, so no one has to worry about moving around and stunning 2.
Yeah, do you know how broken Holy Priest fucking sub-rogue mages, like, you literally have to do nothing. That's why women play this comp, you know? Because they actually have to do absolutely nothing. The Holy Priest can sit at the pillar, do absolutely nothing, use his Chastise into a fear on the Resto Druid, and they don't even have to fear. They can kill the guy in just a Chastise because they have so much burst, the most broken thing in life.
Targets.
While sitting at the pillar and not moving the positioning.
Somebody, Mage DB someone, Rogue stun someone. No one has to overextend or get to compromise it.
With Pally, it's some completely different because Pally doesn't have all that dam except when the Maestro does a 350k big dam judge. And Pallies have to move their positioning to actually get their CC and then risk forcing out all their cooldowns. So.
Positioning, it's a very easy setup to execute on, and it's very effective. And because of that, I would almost argue that Rogue Mage could be one of the best compositions in the game.
It's by far the best comp in the game.
At the moment, because of that.
Besides Jungle.
I think it comes in the S tier competitively. Maybe we can put it a little bit behind. It's going to require...
Is he delusional? He actually thinks Warrior is better than these classes.
To be able to win, whereas these other specs, sometimes you can kind of just zug around and find your victories. But once you have those strategies for Subtlety Rogue...
You're not zug around.
You're going to be an absolute monster. Survival Hunter. Now, this isn't even just that survival is necessarily a bad spec.
Survival, I mean, you can play with Jungle. It's probably... It's just... Yeah, he's going to say it's not that survival is a bad spec, but BM Hunter is 20,000 times better.
At the moment, I actually think it's a really good spec, a solid spec, and a fun spec to
play. It's B or A.
I think players are more often than not going to favor Beast Mastery for Jungle, Marksman.
Marksman is insane.
Like double range DPS blasters, like I've seen Mage Hunter, even Warlock Hunter sometimes. Survival can definitely succeed.
BM Hunter S Priest is the best comp in the entire game.
Single cleave composition as a substitute.
It's so broken.
Mastery, but again, you're a substitute. So for me, I think competitively, it's probably the best, or maybe tied with Enhancement Shaman in the mid tier at the moment.
Enhancement Shaman is better.
You're really not going to see it a lot just because BM is so much easier to pull off, much less risk.
Yeah, why would you ever play
to
Survival
play.
Hunter?
And if there's a lot of these double casters,
There's literally no reason to play Survival Hunter ever.
Struggle.
Unholy Decay's in it.
This is another one that was really kind of rising up. I think it's in a lot better of a spot than it was before. But the game is just not about...
I still think Frost is better than Unholy now.
Sustained damage. It's about burst damage. Unholy brings some pretty decent burst damage, but it's very predictable. It's highly visual, and it takes a lot of globals to set up. So you can see it coming, and then you can counter it.
You can't really counter it. He puts 17,000 pets out on the floor and then fucking explodes them all. It's the most broken thing in life. What do you mean there's no counter to it unless you have like Frost Nova and you can blink behind a pillar? Like,
its personal survivability is all right, not fantastic.
What do you mean? You can't. If you're no one goes after DKs because DKs cannot die.
I think it actually comes in about C.
Nah, it's definitely A.
Because the Frost, Death Knight, burst damage is
and then Windwalker's S.
exceedingly higher. You can play things like Shadow Priest, Death Knight. I've seen that once in a while. I'm curious to see if any Demon Hunter Death Knights come into the mix, but your synergies with arms is much better as Frost than it is as Unholy. Really only seen the Unholy Shadow Priest Shaman composition working, and even that, the players that play it, I haven't seen them play it in some time, although I'm sure they will.
I just fought it.
The Death Knight players are their friends.
Like a week ago.
But you're probably gonna struggle to find groups as this spec at the moment if your main goal is like super competitive.
No, you're not. Any melee DPS has what's commonly known as an acorn for a brain and will play any melee comp.
Try hard and push to the top of the ladder at the moment. Now, Windwalker Monk, this is also a very easy lock-in for me. Much like the Subtlety Rogue, you're going to be working around your burst damage and your cooldown.
You always have burst damage.
Fire, your Zwen,
and you can't die.
Your spinning crane kick.
You have Port, Diffuse, Karma, Wall, Ring of Peace, Incap.
Use those cooldowns.
Holy fuck. Leg Sweep.
You're actually going to knock people out of the park. Your survivability is a little bit more limited.
Are you delusional?
The Feral Druid or the Arms Warrior, which is why I'm putting it towards actually the end of the list. But you make up for that survivability through mobility. You can just escape any of those moments, but you will need awareness to know when to escape. So maybe a little bit more challenging. So I think I feel a little bit more fair. Maybe putting it here on the S tier overall. In the hands of the best player, though, it might even be better than all of them.
Yeah, obviously.
Because if you're aware of every single...
Repali and Windwalker are the best classes in game, and then Feral, and then Sub Rogue, and then Warrior. Warrior's the last one. Warrior's literally the last one.
You'll just make it impossible to die. You have really good...
He's just saying Warrior is the best because the mentally challenged can play it the best, the easiest.
But some of them can be cracked, like Touch of Karma can be broken through, so you need to be careful of that. But you can run things like the Windwalker Fire Mage. That's still a very prevalent composition. You could try and help out some of your DK buddies.
Windwalker DK, yeah.
Windwalker DK, I see that popping up every once in a while. You've got Boomy Windwalker.
That's just broken as fuck.
That right now for just zapping people out of the arena. And I've even seen a little bit
Windwalker
of
Ellie.
Windwalker Ellie, but honestly not too much. It's pretty flexible overall.
There's other comps too.
It is one of the most competitive specs in the game at the moment. But this is my list for the
Windwalker Warrior.
5 melee DPS.
It's really good.
Competitively, let me know
pretty
what you
good.
think in the comments down below. Am I off base with my current...
Windwalker Marksmanship Hunter?
Do you think anything is maybe too harsh? Anything's a little bit too good? Let me know in the comments down below, but this is where my current thoughts...
But you get 500 views, no one's commenting on your videos.
Ladder. And again, the purpose of this channel is to be a resource for you.
And the purpose of this channel is to make money. And legendary! So tell me what videos you want me to make next, and obviously let me know any ideas you guys have of like more content I can do, because I can't figure out too much content. I want to do like girl content again, maybe. But then Molesta's been being ignored. Basically, every girl in Texas is ignoring the Maestro, so I'm pressing on right now. But so I'll try to do some more of that. But anyways, Maestro never gives up.